Following the massive 2008 disaster of Cyclone Nargis, Tzu Chi has been helping rebuild Burmese schools in rural areas around the capital of Yangon. The most recent school to be completed will be Mae Yangon No. 1 High School. While the finishing touches are being added, Tzu Chi volunteers visited parents and students to distribute scholarships. One of the recipients is a 14-year-old girl named Zhu Ting, who had to work to support her family. But with Tzu Chi's help, she is now back in school.
Traces of the teacher's writing remain on the blackboard. These are the ruins of Mae Yangon No. 1 High School. The green and pristine model school is the replacement. Scheduled to open at the end of this month, the new Mae Yangon High School will replace the ruins left behind by Cyclone Nargis in 2008. It's Tzu Chi's project, part of its dedication to give every child the future opportunities that education provides. Working to keep the students' learning from being interrupted, by the end of October 2010, the first phase of the Mae Yangon project was complete. The long-term mission of Tzu Chi in Yangon is to revitalize education. So on the eve of the completion of the Mae Yangon school's buildings, Tzu Chi volunteers have been seeking out local needy families, holding interviews and providing scholarships to deserving children.
Right now our aid has a few different forms. One is daily expenses, another is for tuition, others for living expenses, rice and so on.
Tzu Chi can find enrolled students on the name list to provide help, but for children who have dropped out, sometimes a little luck is needed, as in 14-year-old Zhu Ting's case.
When Tzu Chi volunteers passed by her house, that day, they happened to see she wasn't in school, so they asked why.
Just across a small rickety bridge is the wooden shack that is Zhu Ting's home. It has bamboo walls and a leaky roof that are patched with umbrellas. Zhu Ting's father and her elder brother have both passed on, leaving the girl and her mother to look after her little nephew and niece. After her mother injured her arm, earning the family's keep was largely left to Zhu Ting. When a child is absent too often, schools will cut them from the rolls. But volunteers were so impressed by Zhu Ting's devotion to her family that they worked to get her back in.
If you go to talk with the teachers, then so long as you're dedicated, you will find a way. We talked at length before we were able to convince the teacher to agree.
Today, Zhu Ting is back in school, learning again. As they say, better late than never. Now, when volunteers go on house visits around the unfamiliar neighborhood, Zhu Ting shows them around. Perhaps it was a sign of her gratitude, or perhaps it was a sense of charity taking permanent root in her heart.
I feel so happy and grateful to Tzu Chi for opening up a new path in my life. I want to work hard at my studies, so I do not disappoint Tzu Chi's affection. I want to become an engineer.
Education is hope for the future, and no matter how poor or impoverished a person is, nothing can extinguish their desire to learn.